I think we were a little sloppy in general, even in the first half, but definitely in the second half. You get a lead, and I think we relaxed and tried to do it a little bit by ourselves at times. And then sometimes it's making and missing shots, and it didn't do that well in the first half. 7 for 22 from threes, and didn't get any better. 6 for 21 in the second half, but the things we did do when the shots weren't falling was continue to guard, and we let go of the rope as far as that in the second half and gave up 61. So shots aren't always going to fall. You can still rely on your defense and continue to play the right way and do the little things like we did in the first half, which was offensive rebound and keep them off the glass. And it kind of flipped in the second half. They dominated us on the boards, and we didn't guard.
How did they kind of take Alfie out of the game in the second half?
They sent some doubles a few times in the post, but I think more of us than what they did. I mean, they put Grant Williams on him and switched some matchups, but he had point-blank layups a few times that he missed. And so I wouldn't say it was a lot that they did other than us rushing and being a little sloppy at times.
Fred, Jalen, and Alvin took combined 62 shots. How can you get them to maybe distribute the ball just a little bit more?
Well, I mean, as long as the shots are the good ones, the right ones, I'm not worried about that as much. You knock down some of those wide open threes when the big is sitting back in the paint. That's as good a shot as you're going to get. Or hitting Alpy in the pocket and being a roller, and he's missing at the rim. So not concerned about the shots. I don't think it was poor shot selection. When you make a few, obviously teams adjust, and then you can distribute and find other guys. But they took the right shots, and you knock a few of those down, they adjust, or the scores looks a little bit different there.
I think in the second half, only 3 points on the break compared to 10 in the first half. What do you think was the cause of the discrepancy?
We didn't get stops. We didn't get out and run. And, they had 49 and a half, and honestly should have probably been around the 40, 39, other than the late breakdowns in the first half, and second half 61. So we weren't getting stops, getting out and running, but just as poorly as we played in the transition, offensive rebounds, the same thing. 19 in the first half, second chance points. They only had 2 there, so dominated us on the glass there.
Why did you want a man in on some of those late game possessions, and what did you see from him?
Defensively, we wanted to switch some more things. Grant Williams obviously hit that big 3, and they were going to pick and pop with him, so I wanted to be able to switch a good defender onto ball. It didn't hurt us early. He missed a few in the first half, and then didn't just want to live or die by an open 3, and so kind of sub offense for defense late in the game.
That stretch there, right under 2 minutes, y'all gave up back-to-back offensive rebounds, and one of them was the one where I think Ball was able to just go up for the layup. What went wrong there? Was it not boxing out, just lack of awareness? What went wrong in that little stretch?
Well, we switched and contested the shot, and I think it was Jabari on that one, contested and didn't follow him in. He obviously saw it was missing wide left, but obviously you got to box out and get back into play. But it's not only on Bari contesting, it's everybody else, and it was all the second half. So those two stand out, obviously. When we were getting stops, had a chance to get back in it. But the whole second half, they dominated us there.
You mentioned the shot quality. If it's good shots, you're okay with them, not going in. So is there anything else that can be done with that? Is it just you tip your cap, you miss the shots, go on to the next game? Or
I mean, Fred getting wide open looks, I don't think he's going to shoot 2 for 11 that often, or 4 for 18. So that's obviously stands out. And Jalen, even the 5 for 15, wide open looks, you make 2, 3 more of those, and they adjust some. So we want guys to stay confident, take those shots. We knew Richard and those guys were going to be back in the paint, and you'd have those open looks. So, make those, and you extend the 16, 18-point lead we had instead of letting them back in it by missed shots.
In a given game, do you ever have to make the call if you see a guy miss, 4 or 5 shots in a row? Do you ever make the call, hey, the 3's not going, do something different?
Yeah, of course. We got downhill, and we got obviously different sets that we'll put them in, and we like the 3s with the bigs back, or we attack with the small on the setting the screen. And so Jalen got downhill quite a bit in the late possessions. You got some handoffs there, off-ball actions, and so you want to mix it. A lot of times in flow, if it's not a play call, you call the big up, and that's the shot you're going to get if they're big is sitting back in the paint.
Alperin's time on the bench late in the fourth there, was that fatigue, normal rotation, injury? Any insight into that?
Yeah, we got him back in early. We got all of our starters back in early when the bench kind of gave up a lead to start the fourth, and so we brought them all back before we wanted to. He didn't have a lot of rest there. And then, defensive possessions, like I talked about, we wanted to switch a little bit there.
With Jabbar, is it more about him being more aggressive to get more shots, or do you want him just kind of just stay in the flow of the game, let the shots come to him?
Both. I think when the play is not called, we can do our part to help out and, cut to the basket, get some offensive rebounds, things like that. But when we're playing with the pace we're playing with, it's kind of find guys, and if it doesn't find you, you can it's kind of equal opportunity there. So I called some play calls for him, got him some threes up, and that he made some, missed some. But, yeah, I think a guy like Dylan really hunts the ball in different ways. When the play is not called for him, he still interjects himself offensively, and so Jabari could do some of that. But at times it's just not going to be your night based on the flow of the game.
Overall, were you good with the shots that you wound up getting overall?
Yeah.
He showed some aggressiveness early when he got in the game. What did you make of his debut?
I think he, as well as all our guys to start the game, looked a little jittery. We were missing layups, and the looks that we had from three were great in the first half, but more so the stuff around the basket. And I think he was in with the rest of the group as far as that. So, first game for him, he's going to adjust and play well. Obviously, he played much better, but I think our whole group overall to start the game looked a little jittery. We found our footing and got the big lead, and then went away from what made us successful later in the game.
So much talent on your team. How hard is it to distribute those minutes?
I mean, we have a rotation that we look at and like, and depending on how guys play, those minutes can get extended. But, like I said, I didn't love our end of third, start of fourth, so I went back with the starters there. And, we do have depth, and I think the first half when the bench came in, they extended in the first half. So, you kind of roll with them and let guys play it through and see what happens, but didn't love the start of the fourth, so went back with our starters. So it's going to be a good problem to have all year, though.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.